to my home track, Richmond Raceway. Qualifying underway for the Fort Worth Screen Printing Xfinity Series. Part of the Sidewinder Racing League. You see the nose of Matt Benke's car sticking out there, waiting for him to drive out there. See if we got anybody else on track. Travis Martin, the ghost man. There he is. We'll watch Chevy Chav get after it in his Ford Mustang. Go on the roof. Oh, he's spinning it. Four-wheel drift up the corner in turns 1 and 2. He's going to reset and try again for lap number 2. Cliff Mullins with the incorrect assumption that Martinsville is better. So right along with Hayden. First lap, second quick. See him take the early entry into 3. Try to wrap the bottom as long as you can, then drive it off and get traction. Very difficult to do off turn 4, but he got a pretty good launch. Hayden will go top of the charts. Napa car to the top of the board. Montrose and the number 1 Dirty Mo Media car goes second. Dalton Hayes third on his first lap. See if he can pick it up in that 47 Chevrolet. He's going to spin it across the line. That'll cost him a little time. And in fact, his lap was slower. Vasquez goes to P2 in the Mark Martin throwback. And Travis Martin, that second lap, goes out there and gets to P2. Nicely done. Quinn Newton will drop in 7th. Here's Trenton out there. He's going to get some extra practice in. He's already completed his 2 laps. He's currently 8th. Ethan Evers 9th. Matt Benke in the 10th spot. Ethan's second lap jumps up to 2nd. Mr. Super Speedway showing some speed on a short track. What is this? Cliff heading out there after insulting Richmond. Hope you qualify last, Cliff. He won't, though. He's fast on these short tracks. That's what he's known for. That and wrecking people that make him mad. Also on track now, Lucas Hoytsma. Always a lot of speed out of that car. Cliff going to drive it up high in 3, then straighten out the exit and get as much momentum into 1 as he can on his second lap. So he's basically throwing away lap 1 to give it all on lap 2. Lucas Hoytsma's first lap puts him second quick. Only about 400ths off of Hayden. We'll see if he can pick it up on lap 2 as we watch Cliff come to put his effort in. I think Lucas spun it out on lap 2. Cliff will go at a 22.308, and it puts him 11th. Not quite last, but not where I'd expect Cliff Mullins to be. Maybe that's why he thinks Martinsville's better. He's slow at Richmond. I understand, Cliff. I'm slow at Richmond also, but I still love it. Jake Lawrence is just sitting on track. Not really doing anything. Along with Trenton, so we'll watch Cliff drive into a box, and now everyone's doing nothing. There's Jake doing nothing. There's Trenton backwards in his pit box doing nothing. Final minute and 11 ticking off of our qualifying time here. We have 18 cars set to do battle. We'll just jump back and forth. Oh, Jake's going to roll out there. There we go. Something to watch. Even if he rolls at 20 miles an hour. Warming up the tires, getting that right front completely off the ground. He still has time to get 1 lap in if he wants to. Something tells me he doesn't want to. Blake Giglio heading out. Does not have time to get a lap in. Jake still does. Jake, realizing he's going too fast, starts to slow down. And he's going back to the pit lane to make sure he doesn't get a lap in. Here's Daniel exiting the pits in the final 3 seconds. Good job, Daniel. You did it, buddy. That's going to be it. Hayden Lowell is your pole sitter. Hayden, DG, got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Swiss.
What's rule number 1?
Learn how to wreck someone without wrecking yourself.
Correct. What's rule number 2?
Grid as soon as possible so Swiss can do the thing.
You're on fire tonight. Good job. So, how do we feel about 130 laps here at Richmond tonight?
I feel good about it. You know, was good here in Arca on Monday. We'll see if any of that carries over. Hopefully we can nail some strategy better and stay up front, but we'll see what happens.
I recommend not speeding on pit road also.
I've heard that is detrimental.
Recently came back to bite you in the butt. It's been a long time, so we have to get back to reminding you.
Yeah, good old Chicagoland.
All right, but we'll see if we're talking to you in another 130 laps. Good luck.
Holy shit, the Atlanta Falcons.
Cool. What a way to end the interview. Obviously, the draft is tonight, so that's going on. Labor 12 starting lineup, presented by our friends in the rock band Labor 12 out of Lubbock, Texas. Hayden Lowell's your pole sitter in the Napa Chevy. Lucas Weisman will start second in the Labor 12 Ford Mustang. Ethan Evers, Fort Worth screen printing Chevrolet, rolls off in the third spot. Travis Martin, the Ghost Man Ford, rolls off fourth. Brandon Vasquez, the first Toyota, rolls off in fifth. Ian Montrose, door bumper clear, Monte Carlo. Yeah, it's been that kind of night, trust me. He's in the Camaro there, rolling off in sixth. Colin Teague in the Highlighter Supra starts seventh. Dalton Hayes, the Chevrolet Camaro, rolls off in the eighth spot. Quinn Newton, 712 Brakes Chevrolet, rolls off in the ninth spot. Trent Sneed Tombstone Game Farm Chevrolet, rolls off in the 10th position. Cliff Mullins, Pinnacle Trailer Sales Chevrolet, which as he wishes was a Pontiac, rolls off in 11th. Matt Benke, the Amtrak Chevrolet, rolls off 12th. Blake Giglio, the Artemis Chevrolet, rolls off in 13th. Jay Munch, the Arc.io Toyota, in 14th. Daniel Llewellyn, Labor 12 Chevrolet, in 15th. Zach Margison, Gamer Sup Chevy, in 16th. Jake Lawrence, the 1010s Racing Toyota, 17th. And Scott Elston, the HPI Racing Chevrolet, rolls off 18th. Cars are rolling out on track. We should have 2 pace laps here before we get going. See the underline in green plus the box for the leader in green. Those are our playoff contenders tonight. Looks like we have 9 of our playoff field. 12 drivers eligible. Sam Vanderplaat, 41 car, did not show up after showing up last week. So we have essentially 9 drivers going for 8 spots. No one's locked in thanks to Lucas Hoytsma's win last week. Hayden's in the best position. There in the top spot. Daniel Llewellyn needs to gain 4 points over 8th place to get back in there. Appreciate Labor 12 getting that lineup music for us. Thank you, Cody, for reminding me to take it down. Zariah, welcome on in. Hayden's on pole, so I'm sure you're excited for that one. Field on their second of their 2 pace laps, lights out on our iRacing pace car, and we're getting set for 130 laps here from Richmond. From a fan experience standpoint, the best short track in NASCAR. From a driving experience, the second best short track on iRacing. And no, Cliff, Martinsville's not first. Iowa is, because, well, it was designed to be Richmond, but better. Pace car heads off. Hoytsma and Lowell, your front row. When have we seen that before? Perfectly timed there by Cody Brown with the boogity boogities. Hayden races off into turn number 1. Lucas Hoytsma, Ethan Evers, Travis Martin. Top 2 get single file. Contact between Dalton Hayes and Colin Teague. They keep it straight. Travis Martin going to power around Ethan Evers on the outside. Now the one of Montrose trying to do the same. Highline is viable early on. The longer you stay up there, the more you do wear your tires out. The 8 of Ethan Evers now trying to hang on to the 4th spot. Ian Montrose wanting to have none of that, trying to take it away on the Highline. The 12 of Vasquez sits in behind. Dalton Hayes battles Colin Teague. That one's for 7th. Ethan tried to get the elbows out a little bit. Montrose staying right on his quarter panel. Mostly single file throughout the field, except for really this battle and then Colin Teague and Dalton Hayes. Quickly, 18 cars go down to 14 single file and 2 battles. Now even Hayes really drove it in there to keep Colin Teague off the bottom. Evers briefly had Montrose clear, but Montrose powered back up on the outside. Hayden Lowell, a quarter-second lead over Hoytsma. Travis Martin looks like he is in save mode, about 9/10 to a second behind already. Ian Montrose finally gives up the spot on Ethan Evers. See if he'll try to get back to the low side. Dalton Hayes has completed the pass on Colin Teague. Vasquez looks to the outside of Montrose. He'll go back single file, check back in on this group. Blake Giglio up to 10th after not qualifying. He's looking for the inside line on Quinn Newton. Quinn really got down to the bottom early there. Gets to the inside of the Colin Teague machine. Looking for that 8th spot. And Colin once again has a car to his inside. Took Dalton Hayes a good 5 laps to get done with him. Christie in here rooting for Trenton. Trenton just behind this battle, riding in the 11th spot. Colin T gets all the way up into the outside wall coming off of turn number 4. Stayed in throttle the whole time, rode the front stretch wall all the way to third 1. Despite that, didn't lose too much speed. Trenton Sneed, big wiggle out of the 81. He's going to lose a spot to Cliff Mullins as Mullins keeps it straight, goes around the outside. Quinn Newton, Colin T continue to battle. Everyone else, for the most part, single file. Giglio taking his time, riding around that yellow line, saving the tires. Contact between Colin T and Quinn Newton as Colin T got a little out of shape coming out of turn number 2. Quinn gets deep into the corner going into turn 3. He wants to be done with it, and he's going to get turned. Colin Teague puts Quinn Newton into the outside wall. Cliff Mullins gets a piece, and that was some drivers getting heated early in this race. That looked very deliberate from my perspective. Quinn Newton drives in here deep, pushes the 50 up a little bit. They make contact, and then Colin Teague just kind of right hooks him into the outside wall. Didn't need to do that at all. Sure, Quinn Newton will be pissed, and I would not blame him. Let's watch this from Cliff. You see it all unfold up ahead. The highlighter car and Quinn Newton. Newton gets in there deep. A whole car and a half up off the bottom. Gets into Colin. Then Colin just comes down and right hooks him deliberately into the outside wall. There's from that angle, there's no other way to say that one. I mean, I guess Cliff could be mad since he got into it late. Yeah. His car looks okay, really. He kind of went through the other machine of Quinn Newton there. Don't see too much damage to Cliff. I mean, really, it looks like he just kind of lagged right through there. I'm sure he'll come down and check the damage anyway, but I think he got lucky. Hayden brings it down the pit lane. Just about everybody else in the top 5 stays out. And Colin Teague obviously going to have to come down and take a fast repair. That car is destroyed. Quinn Newton going to need a fast repair as well. The rest of these guys checking their damage. Trenton seems to be okay. A lot of fuel stops here. Teague still in the box. Daniel had a little piece of that. Daniel fixing a little damage, and Quinn Newton obviously had to take the tow. His car is junk. Even worse camera shot. So Lucas, Travis Martin, Ethan Evers, Ian Montrose, Brandon Vasquez, Dalton Hayes all stay out. They'll be your top 6 cars. We approach 10% of the race. Hayden Lull, first one to come down. Fuel only for the Napa car. Blake Giglio in the Artemis Esports 16. Fuel comes out 8th. Cliff Mullins came down. I think he checked the damage, realized he was perfectly fine, and went back out with fuel only in 9th. Trenton Sneed, similar story, in 10th. Jay Munch topped off the tank for 11th. Margison 12th. Benke 13th. And Jake Lawrence. They were all fuel-only stops. Maybe a little damage check or so. And Daniel Llewellyn stays on the lead lap. Took 30 seconds of damage repair for this Labor 12 Chevrolet. Colin Teague comes back out there without taking the fast repair. He's got no nose. Don't know if he knows that. Richmond does have a little bit of aerodynamics because it races kind of like a 1.5 miles. So aero does matter at Richmond. Quinn Newton went 3 laps down, taking the tow, has taken his fast repair. I think he's going to top off the tank now. So he's at the back of the field anyway. And Scott Elston completed 7 laps and disappeared. I'm not sure what happened to Scott. Maybe he'll tell us in the Twitch chat. Didn't see what happened to him. Hoytsma's your leader. Still got at least one more lap of pacing to go. Cliff, DG, got copy?
Yeah.
Well, you saw it all unfold right in front of you. What did you see through that wreck?
I saw the 5 car get put right in my lap. Literally my lap.
I mean, you just not out. Yeah, because, I mean, you kind of warped right through your car. You get, like, no damage, right?
Yeah, I got 0% damage on that, so I saved a fast repair on that. So thank you, iRacing, for netcode.
Yeah, way to fix the netcode.
Yeah.
Lucky you. Well, sometimes it bites and sometimes it gives you a present. Take it and run with it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get wrecked here in a minute.
10-4, good luck.
Yep.
Cliff Mullins in the 37 saying he just saw the 5 car drop right in his lap. Coin out there now 3 laps down, but the only car off the lead lap. If he can get some cautions to go, he can get back to that lead lap. And Scott Elson has retired the 85. Got a brand new wheel on that car. Thought he would maybe go for it tonight, but seems to be wanting not to. Hoytsma gets a huge jump over Hoytsma. Evers in the 1, once again battle. They go 3 wide behind as Giglio goes to the outside of Vasquez. Hayden Lowell went to the inside, and man, they split Vasquez, went 3 wide through 1 and 2. They've gone single file in the top 5. Blake Giglio is up to 6th. Hayden Lowell now 7th. No cars that we noticed took tires this early, so it should be all equal on that strategy. Cliff Mullins working his way by Vasquez. Here comes Trenton, trying to make the same move. Wraps it around the bottom, and he'll take it over coming out of turn 2. We have J Munch trying to work by Vasquez. Toyota's doing battle, but J Munch has his teammate Margison to the outside as Margison drives it in deep in 3. Margison may just take the spot away on the high side. J Munch did not get off the corner exits of 2 or 4 very good down there in the bottom. The rest of the top 10 all single file. While we're hanging out watching this battle for 11th between the teammates. A couple of 10/10 drivers. See behind them Jake Lawrence in 68. They all get single file. Check in further back. There's Banky and Wallen. Colin Teague's in the wall with no front end. That car is struggling. Quinn Newton 3 laps down, hoping Colin Teague brings out a caution. Colin's kind of all by himself. Hoytsman now a half second over Travis Martin. Montrose still has Evers hot on his tail. Evers really surprised me tonight. Normally he is a super speedway ace, so here he is on a short track, running in the top 5. Same's true for Dalton Hayes. And there's Blake Giglio in the 16. I swear he's just biding his time, being patient. Keeping that car wrapped around the bottom, saving tire. Even enters low in turn 1, lower than you would think he would. Drives it straight off the corner 2. He'll peek to the inside of Dalton Hayes. Hayes not going to fight him. Knows Giglio's faster. Leaves the bottom open for him. Nearly contact between the two, but I think Giglio did just enough to stay off of that left rear quarter panel. Hayden Lowell watching it all unfold. Contact for sure there. Dalton Hayes and Blake Giglio. I think Dalton wanted to enter the corner quicker than Blake did. Hayden's going to try to make it 3 wide off of turn 2. There's more contact between Hayes and Giglio. They're getting feisty. We're seeing tempers rise here. Is up ahead. 3rd place is now under contest. Ian Montrose and Ethan Evers. Ethan's gotten to the outside of Montrose, trying to take away the 3rd spot. Blake's finally clear of Dalton. Now Dalton has the 56 of Hayden Lowell to his inside. And here comes Cliff Mullins. Trenton Sneed just brushed the wall coming out of turn number 2. Still running top 10. Montrose and Evers still battling for that 3rd spot. Montrose got out of shape, but Evers gets into the wall. They're driving hard here on lap 25. Got a whole another 105 to go, boys. Gonna need race cars later. They don't care. They're having fun. Ian gets way up the hill going into 3. The last driver we saw do that got right hooked. Montrose charges it in down there into turn number 1. Evers goes ahead and goes for the crossover here as Montrose drives it hard off the corner, and Evers gets to his inside. Fantastic battling going on here for the 3rd spot. And Evers is going to clear him, and Montrose made it a point to get down and close the door on Giglio. Meanwhile, Colin Teague's hit the pit lane under green. I think he realizes he needs a nose on that race car to be competitive. So under green, Colin Teague, one of our playoff drivers, hits pit lane. Heusman enjoying a nearly 2-second lead now over Travis Martin in that amazing battle we were watching between Montrose and Evers. Evers has it for now. Montrose 4th. Hayden Lowell closing in from the 5th spot. Then you have Blake Giglio and Cliff Mullins. Cliff down on the inside of Blake. Dalton Hayes gets in the back of Cliff Mullins. That's not going to go well for Dalton Hayes. Do not want to ruffle the feathers of the 37 car. Dalton drove it in there, trying to get to his back bumper. Cliff just kind of felt that coming and let the car roll a little more freely on entry. And that'll give him a gap over Dalton. Hayden now working on Montrose for the 4th spot. Just about has him clear. Montrose got all kinds of squirrely coming off the 2. Stayed in the throttle though. That can get you in trouble in a hurry if your car points the wrong way and you stay in the throttle. Montrose thought about cutting it back to the inside, but ultimately decided Hayden was going to have that spot regardless and backed off a bit. Now he's under attack from the 16 Artemis Esports Chevrolet of Blake Giglio. Dalton Hayes smacks the wall back there. Trenton Steed maybe going for an opportunity to pass. Shown by the numbers, though, it's not quite happening. Blake really drove it into turn 1. Got it sideways, trying to get on the brakes to get inside the 1 car of Montrose. Blake was determined to get the nose of that Camaro inside the 1 car. Across the stripe we go. Blake scored 5th for that lap. As he works to complete the pass on Montrose. Should have it on corner exit here. Up ahead, Hayden Lowell now tracking the 8 car of Ethan Evers. Like Hayden going to make that inside line work. Hayden in the best shape as far as fuel goes in the top 4. He's the only car in the top 4 that has stopped for fuel. And got maybe 10 extra laps before he has to pit compared to the rest of the drivers around him. Hayden currently in the 3rd spot. Teammate Trenton told me that he got about 60 laps on a tank of gas, thereabouts. We're at 35 for a lot of these guys that didn't stop in the top 10. Trenton, meanwhile, fighting Dalton Hayes. Quinn Newton, the lap machine, there with him. Unfortunately for Quinn, Colin Teague came down in green flag pit stop, that highlighter number 50, which makes Colin Teague the recipient of a lucky dog if we get a caution. But those two already having 1 episode of beef, could be more if they find each other again. Dalton able to hold off Trenton. Now Quentin Newton going around the outside of Trenton. Not really for position, but Quinn wanting to get racy and have some fun. Can't blame him. Lucas now 3 seconds over Travis Martin. Here comes Hayden Lowell. Meanwhile, Blake Giglio's caught the 8 of Ethan Evers. Blake peeks to the inside, down for turn 1. Ethan not going to block him. Allows Blake to get on through and get back to his rhythm for the 8 machine, not give up too many spots. That's how NASCAR used to be back in the early 2000s. A lot of give and take. But these days, everybody wants to be an Ian Montrose, a Cliff Mullins, and fight for every second of the race. As they both hit the wall while I'm talking about both of them. Cliff able to hang on to it, but it was kind of amusing. Vasquez. And you have the 5 of Quinn Newton moving by Dalton Hayes. Remember, he's still not on the same lap as these guys, but he is showing what he can do. Probably wondering what might have been if he hadn't gone 3 laps down, taking a tow. Matt Benke also pitting under green. Takes Matt 2 laps down. Actual fight for position between these two, Colin Teague and Matt Benke. That is for 15th. One of the now closer battles on track, along with Jake Lawrence and Jay Munch. Trenton Steed and Dalton Hayes are still going at it. Hayden Lowell's catching Travis Martin for 3rd. We got a few battles going on. There is Hayden tracking down the Ghost Man, trying to get 2nd spot. See, Blake has followed him right along. Both Travis and Hayden got a little squirrely coming out of 2. Travis goes ahead up the track. Don't think he's going to fight Hayden too hard. Just try to keep his momentum up and let Hayden do his thing. Blake straightening up the corner as he anticipates getting by Travis Martin as well. Hayden didn't quite clear him though, so Blake having to be a little patient. Now Hayden's clear. Blake will probably have him cleared down into 1. Now Hayden and Blake 2nd and 3rd. They have 4 seconds to make up on Lucas Hoysa. We'll see if they save tire, and if Lucas did not. They are already cutting into the advantage a little bit. But then on corner exit, Lucas gains quite a lot. Blake's going to go for this move for 2nd. Showing Hayden the nose. These two, no love lost this season at all. Quite a few incidents of contact between the 56 and 16, especially on short tracks. Martinsville certainly comes to mind between the two of them. Early in the race, I think they'll behave. This was maybe 10 laps to go. It could be a lot different. Trenton's now 9th. Marchison's 10th. Ian Montrose and Ethan Evers. It's like Ethan's hitting the pit lane. So Ethan, the first of our top 8 cars to come to the pit lane. Like riding right in Hayden's tire tracks. Next closest battle we have is Jake Lawrence, still battling the 68 of Jay Munch's teammate. You see Matt Benke working his way through this pack. Matt came to the pit lane 7 laps ago, slapped on a set of fresh tires. Should be moving forward. Looks like Dalton Hayes has also boxed the 47 as you look at the back of his pit box. I think the only way to see pit lane here is from this shot. High above the Commonwealth Tower. You can see Lucas all the way on the backstretch. Dalton Hayes, there he is on the pit lane. Looks like some trouble for him. He's already 27 seconds. Must have been a speeding penalty for the 47. That is a killer on a short track. Ethan Evers, 4 tires fuel, back out on track, currently 13th. We're hitting lap 50 for a lot of these guys, including Lucas Hoysma. Travis Martin, Ian Montrose, they're all on lap 50 of their run. So they have not stopped the entire race. Only other car on that strategy right now is Brandon Vasquez. He's currently 7th. 12 laps better on fuel are Hayden Lowell and Blake Giglio. you want to split this thing in half, you need to make 65. But they did have that one caution, so you probably want to go longer than that. Maybe 67 to feel safe. See if Lucas is out there clutching or not. Nope. So smooth. Such a joy to watch Lucas Hoitzman around a short track. Just makes it look and sound so simple. Very minimal squealing from the tires. Smooth on the throttle on and off. Not a lot of wheel input. Just looks so effortless. Trust me, it's not. Blake has finally gotten by Hayden Lull. Blake up to that second spot. What a gaggle of cars here. We got 2 cars that have pit, got fresh tires, around 3 other cars that are battling for position. Daniel Lawala in the 68 of Lawrence and the 69 of Joel Munchell, all for position. Then the 47 and 35 have been down the pit lane. Dalton, of course, had that penalty, so he's now 3 laps down in 17th. Spent an entire minute on the pit lane. That's rough. I'll make it through there cleanly. Trenton's working on Vasquez. That is for the 7th spot. Currently 57 laps and counting for that Viagra Toyota. Ethan Evers driving by. Remember, Ethan came down and took a early pit stop. It's been 9 laps since he's been on and off the pit lane. Currently the only car 1 lap down, so if the caution comes out in this pit cycle, he will get his lap back at the moment. Daniel Llewellyn runs 12th, one of our playoff drivers. He was on the outside looking in coming into this race. He's got to find something somewhere. Currently Colin Teague behind him, 2 laps down. And Daniel needs to find some points maybe at halfway. Try to boost his cause. Trenton Sneed gets to the inside of Vasquez. There's Dalton Hayes behind. Dalton on fresh tires. Wow, Margison all over the place coming out of turn number 2. Fortunately, no one around him, so he could afford to do that. Dalton Hayes makes contact with Trenton Sneed as he tries to get through. Dalton not really racing any of these guys. None of this is for position. He'd have to catch Quinn Newton to even have a position to make up. Fortunately, Trenton able to hang on to it there. Dalton unhappy with Trenton from a different race this week. I think it was Wednesday night, last night. Yeah, these two got into it near the end of the race. Dalton's been none too pleased ever since. Hayden's now half second behind Blake. Blake's worked into the lead of Hoitzma a little bit. Not a whole lot. Ian Montrose on the pit lane for the 1 car. Leaves Vasquez, Martin, and Hoitzma. It's the only cars that haven't pit this entire race. Matt Banky's been on and off the pit lane. Here comes race leader Lucas Hoitzma at 63. That tells me he will need a splash towards the end of this race. Blake and Hayden can probably make it. Brandon Vasquez is on the pit lane. So that'll be everybody stopping at least once before halfway. Should we go green? I expect everyone would have to stop again. Vasquez exiting the pits. This is the halfway lap. Give away 10 points to the leader and 1 point to 10th. Where those points go handing out. Blake picks up 10. Hayden 9. Cliff will pick up 8. Trenton grabs 7. Margison 5. Second caution waves in the middle of all this. Trying to see who went around, but I don't see anything obvious. So Dalton coming off the... Yep, Cliff Mullins and Dalton Hayes. Those two got into it a little earlier in the race, and Cliff turns them. That'll trap a lot of cars a lap down. As Cliff gets his revenge on Dalton Hayes. See what the drivers are saying. Could be entertaining. Well, that was an unfortunate timing for that caution for a lot of drivers. Blake and Hayden head into their pit box. Cliff Mullins will as well. This caution really helps Cliff, so that's a little sus. Trenton rolls in there. Margison, J. Munch, Lawrence, and Llewellyn. Daniel definitely picked up at least a couple points here. Should help his cause. Ethan Evers is your waiver round for the lucky dog. He can come down and get a free pit stop and grab more tires if he wants, which is good for him. It's 21 laps since he pit. Guys that it really hurts. Lucas Hoisma leading this race by a wide margin. He's going to have to take a wave around. We start 10th behind everybody. Travis Martin, he's been running up in the top 5 most of the race. He's same story, going to take the wave around along with Ian Montrose. See Vasquez right behind the pace car. He's going to take a wave around as well. Go from 2 laps down to 1 lap down. Colin Teague has pit, so he won't be able to wave around. See Dalton Hayes, he's going to take the wave. Currently 2 laps down. Quinn Newton 3. Matt Benke 3 laps down, and Elston has left the race.
Yeah, sorry for the yellow guy's car that hadn't fitted needed a caution, I guess.
Dalton being a smartass.
No, actually, I didn't need a caution. I had 10 more laps that I could have went right there, but you decided to brake check me on the front straightaway. On the list. The Google Doc grows by the day.
Just don't use fucking Google Docs.
Shockingly enough, he wasn't on the fucking list.
That is shocking, actually.
Well, he is now.
You guys are about to make me open a notepad. It's getting ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Cliff puts it on a sticky note and slaps it on someone's ass. Cliff's is not like a sticky note or anything. It's a goddamn book by now.
Cliff wouldn't write a book. He didn't know how to read a book. Llewellyn's coming back down to top off the tank. And why not? You're going to restart 8th either way. We'll come down top off the tank. Try to make it to the end. Be good for green, white checkers and everything. Lights are out on the pace car. Llewellyn's going to have to hustle. Get back out there and get in position. Hurry, Daniel. Field's already at the end of backstretch. Green flag's out. Blake Giglio leads the charge to turn 1. Hayden Knoll, Trenton Sneed, Zach Margison, Jay Munch, your top 5. That caution really flipped the field around.
Sorry, Travis, let's try and get out of your way.
We have Lawrence Mullins, then Evers, then Lucas Heisman. Lucas dispatches of Llewellyn. Lucas will be fun to watch coming through this field. I'm sure he's mad right now. So not only does he have to restart behind these cars, but the cars in front of him get fresh tires to go along with it. Like Hayden Knoll and Blake Giglio battling for a lead at a short track. This couldn't go badly, could it? These two have moved each other a time or two, or just flat out wrecked one another. Hayden trying to maintain the lead. You have Trenton in the 81, Margison in the 88. All 5 of the top 5 in the playoffs right now. Llewellyn continues his good run. Could make things real interesting at the cut line. Like we said, 9 drivers going for 8 spots. We have anybody really contesting. Margison about the only one within 2/10. Blake's fallen back off of Hayden. I believe he's doing the tire save thing once again. Hayden, once he gets out front, he likes to go as fast as possible. He tries to save, but it doesn't always work out for him. So Hayden right now enjoys that a little over half-second lead. Check in on Lucas, currently 9th, battling Colin Teague. Teague, of course, not on the lead lap after his green flag pit stop for the nose repair. Hoytsman has to be really frustrated being back here in traffic. Especially because he does have a little bit older tire than most of the cars he's trying to fight. Since he had to take a wave around it to get to pit. Check it on the 5 of Quinn Newton right in the middle of the things. It's between Lawrence in 6th and Evers in 7th. He's still looking to make moves and have some fun despite not being on a lead lap. Ian Montrose dead sideways coming off of turn number 2, but held on to it. And you have Vasquez. Vasquez is 1 lap down, Colin Teague 2, along with Dalton Hayes 2 laps down. And you have Quinn Newton, Matt Benke, both 3 laps down. Hayden 1 second now over Blake. And Blake has just about everybody all the way back to Montrose in 12th, right in tow. Giglio, Steed, Margison, Munchel, Lawrence, and then Evers as he looks inside the lap machine of Newton. Jay Munch looked inside Margison there briefly. Inside 50 laps to go. Drivers starting to try and make some moves. Ethan gets by Quinn Newton and starts to draw a bead on the 68 of Lawrence. That will be for 6th. Lawrence goes ahead and lets him have it. Cliff Mullins now wanting to take 7th. Here comes Lucas in the background. He's still battling with Colin Teague. As Lawrence starts to slip and slide in the 68, heading backwards. Cliff Mullins had to really cut the wheel left to stay off of him, and that slowed him down. Cliff giving tons of room coming off of turn number 2. Probably cost him a couple tenths. He could have driven up a little bit farther on exit. But playing it safe. Lawrence grabs the wall, and that will allow Cliff Mullins to take the spot. Cliff up to 7th. Here comes Lucas. Lucas going to try to make the move on Jake Lawrence. Drives it down to the bottom in turn 3. Lawrence staying consistent, running that second groove. 45 laps to go. Up ahead, Evers, Mullins. Evers looking inside J Munch. Mullins is looking outside Evers. Just go where they aren't and see what happens. Hoisma really tries it in deep. Gets by Lawrence nearly into the back bumper of Mullins. That was definitely a full send. Now Hoisma gets up onto this main pack of cars. No more lap machines in his way. See if Lucas can pick off Mullins here. Goes to the inside. Hoisma was 4 seconds clear of the field. Now he's 3 seconds behind the leader and in heavy traffic. Unfortunate timing for that caution. Hoisma up to the 7th spot. Next up will be Ethan Evers, J Munch. So a lot of these guys run single file. Trenton's putting a little pressure on Giglio, but Giglio, I am fairly certain, still saving. So we have 40 laps to go, but probably can make it to that 40 lap mark on this tank of fuel. So Giglio is saving the tire, hoping to have something to run down Hayden Lull with later. Meanwhile, Hoisman's having to burn his stuff up to get up there. Blake protecting the bottom, making anybody that wants to go faster go around him the outside line. Daniel Lawal and Ian Montrose battle. This is for 11th. You saw Montrose get into the quarter panel and get very sideways. Daniel Montrose battling for the playoffs, as is Travis Martin just ahead of him in 63. This group here really bunched up. J Munch, Evers, and Hoytsma. 4 black and red cars in a row if you count Margison. 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. I'm going to hydrate in here. Thanks to Cody. Appreciate you, my guy. Cliff Mullins joining the parade here. Makes it 4th to 8th. All bunched up as J Munch goes for a ride. Gets out of shape coming out of 2. Sent it towards the inside wall. Looks like he did make contact. Hangs on to the 9th position. We'll see how long he can hang on. Let's quickly take a look. See what happens to him. See if it's contact or if it's just getting loose. Looks like it was mostly getting loose. Let's try the drone shot. We'll go back live. Yeah, just got loose driving it off the corner. A little bit of a bump on the inside wall. Not too bad. Definitely not what you want, but could have been way worse. Maintains the lead lap and only 4 seconds back. Now 5. Trenton running 3rd now. Right on the back bumper of Giglio. Margison 4th. Evers 5th. Hoytsman now 6th. Mullins up to 7th. Lawrence 8th. J Munch falling back to Travis Martin. Montrose did complete the pass on the Wallen, by the way. We stay with this group of cars all packed together. Margison, Evers, Hoytsma, and then the green car, Cliff Mullins, that you can see peeking in there. Hoytsman's going to take a look here on Ethan Evers. Got up the hill a little bit. Ethan really drove it in there and protected his spot. I don't know how long Evers can keep that up, but definitely stood on the gas pedal to hold off Hoytsma for a lap at least. See Matt Benke rolling off the pit lane. Matt now 5 laps down in the Amtrak car. 2 cautions so far. Both caused by drivers getting into other drivers. Hoytsma really wants to roll the center, but Ethan Evers just kind of parking it there. Hoytza really can't find a way to get alongside, but trying to get the nose in there going into 3. He does so. I think that'll be all Lucas really needs as Evers hung out on that outside line heading into 1. I think that'll be advantage Hoytza. Lucas has him clear. Up into the top 5 goes the 97. He's got only 31 laps to try and fix that timing of that caution. It's unfortunately now fallen over 4 seconds back. So he got hung up behind Evers. Hayden's still enjoying a 2-second lead on Blake Giglio. Have to wonder when enough is enough for Blake saving. Trenton rides in 3rd, Martis in 4th, and there's Hoytza in the 5th spot. Sure, Lucas would love nothing more than another caution. Come down, get everybody on equal tires, and then bunch everybody back up at the same time. There's Hayden, 2 seconds out in front of the field. And that's what that looks like as you see Blake cross the line 2 seconds later. Trenton rolling into turn 1 and 2. Cliff putting the pressure on Ethan Evers. That is for the 6th spot now. And so top 4 is all playoff drivers. Like the Ghost Man's decided it is time. He wasn't going to make it on fuel. He has come down to get tires, I would imagine. I think Martin took a wave around and didn't pit at the caution. Drivers in a similar boat are going to be Lucas Hoytza, Ian Montrose, Brendan Vasquez, and Dalton Hayes. All those drivers taking wave arounds and not pitting on the last caution. Only thing those cars can do is run it as long as they can and hope for that yellow. Montrose and Vasquez, they are 10th and 12th. Obviously Vasquez 1 lap down. Travis Martin will come off the pit lane 13th. Still ahead of Colin Teague, importantly. Keep an eye on the playoff drivers. You definitely don't want to be the last of them as Lucas Hoytza hits the pit lane. Got up to 5th and then brings it to the pits. Other drivers need to go 63 laps. It's going to be close. Let's see how close Hayden thinks it is. Not hearing clutching on the 56, or the 16, or the 81, or the 88, or the 8. Nobody clutching. So either they think they're good, or they know they can't make it. Cliff and Ethan Evers battle. This is for 5th. Jake Lawrence hits the pit lane. Matt Benke's returned to the pit lane. I think he's had some damage. Minute and a half for him now. And report from the 35, he is now out of the race. Caught the inside wall. Let me guess, off turn 2? Turn 2 is a bitch like that. 35 required years. Evers making his car about Cliff Mullins wide. I mean that more of a Ryan Newman joke than a fat joke. And here comes Lucas on the fresh tires. Should be able to blow by both of them. I don't think Ethan will try to hold him up this time. Lucas goes flying by. Lucas 1 lap down in 10th. Obviously the fastest car on the track right now. Running 22 O's. Absolutely flying. Judging by that pace, he could get all the way up to 3rd if he can hang on to that kind of speed. even if no one else pits. Goes by the 88. Lucas is about 8 seconds behind Daniel. Will be the next car to pass. Yeah, so I may have overestimated his time. He won't make it up to third. I think he'd make it up to about 7th if no one pits. I think Montrose has to pit anyway. Montrose been 50 laps since he's been to the pit lane. You have to go 68. No one's shown they can go that far. So I think Montrose is going to run it dry and pray for the yellow. Ethan Evers and Cliff Mullins battling could bring it out. As Cliff tries the outside line around Ethan Evers. Looks like Cliff's going to get that move made. Gasses it up out of 4, and yeah, Cliff Mullins takes away 5th spot on the high line. Nice move there from Cliff. Blake Giglio now has it 1.2 seconds between himself and Hayden Lawls. Hayden deals with Daniel Llewellyn. Still not clutching, so it must be Giglio has decided it is time to go. Here's Blake looking up at Daniel Lang, Hayden Lull. Down the backstretch and into turn 3. Blake turns in a little earlier than Hayden does. It's the inside of Llewellyn to dispatch of him. Here's your gap. 9.7 and dropping. Even clearing the lap car, Blake Giglio a 10th faster that lap. 14 laps to go. Definitely needs to hang on to that 10th a lap speed. Hoytsma is catching Daniel Llewellyn and passing Daniel Llewellyn. Blake Giglio is the next car on track that Lucas would catch up to, and that would really not help Blake Giglio at all as he's trying to catch Hayden. Got a little bit overzealous going into turn 1 there. Really drove it in deep, but it cost him on exit. And here comes Lucas. Riding in 9th. He'll want to find his way by both of them so he can get on up the hill. And try to chase down Ian Montrose, which is ahead of these two. How much more speed Lucas has. He's right on Blake. See if Blake gives him a lane here. I think he will, so that Lucas can go up there and mess with Hayden. Didn't really cost Blake anything. I'll see if Lucas can chase down Hayden. Sure, Lucas will go to the inside here for 3. Hayden's going to send him to the top. Lucas will go on up there. Now Lucas will take on the 1 of Montrose. That's for position. Lucas will go around the outside of the 1 of Montrose. Take over 8th. Now Hayden's in traffic. Hayden has to deal with the 1 of Montrose. Blake Giglio trying to run him down. He's 6/10 back. 10 laps to go, now 9. Blake only 700ths quicker that lap. Needs the full 10th to catch him. Place always his way by the 50 of Colin Teague, not for position. He's catching Vasquez. Vasquez also not for position. Blake gets by Montrose. To go to 8 laps to go at Richmond. Hayden dealing with the traffic. Now has Colin Teague to his outside. Giglio can go all the way to the outside, so that may help Giglio's lap time. Now Blake has to make his way by the same car. And 7 laps to go. Blake, oh, so close to Hayden. These two have shown in the past they have no problem moving one another for a win. This could get spicy as Blake's closed in under 3/10. 6 laps to go. You get Blake sliding the back in on corner entry. Definitely using up that car now. See where Vasquez in the Viagra Toyota goes. Vasquez gets up and out of the way for him. That may hurt Blake on exit. He's going to be right there. Blake can't go to the top. That's advantage Hayden. Brandon Vasquez cut off the exit of the 16 car. Blake going to have to regroup. 4.5 laps to go as the exit turn 2. Blake is right there. He's close enough to send a last second desperation move. He's got 4 laps to see if he needs to go that far. Hayden has to be looking in his mirror quite a lot at this point. Blake closes up right on the back bumper. Well, we have a barn burner here. 3.5 laps to go at Richmond. Short track racing from the Commonwealth. Blake putting that pressure on. Have the lap machine and 69 of J Munch coming up. 3 laps to go. Blake gives them just a slight tap there. They make their way past Joel Munchell. There we go. 2 laps to go. Clear track for the most part ahead. Now it's just Blake and Hayden. Lap and a half to go, and Blake is there. Hayden making sure he seals off the bottom to send Giglio to the top. Giglio going to try to cross back underneath him. Hayden keeps it way off the wall to make sure he doesn't. Blake's still looking down there. Hayden's still trying to cut him off. Hayden gets a horrible corner entry as a result. Slides up the hill into Blake. Blake gives him a shot in the back bumper. Hayden trying to keep that bottom protected at all costs. Blake Giglio really not wanting that. See if he get contact here. Hayden gets it up the track. Blake Giglio gets into him. They make contact coming off of turn number 4. Blake and Hayden drag race to the line. Make contact again, and it is Hayden Lowell by a bumper at the start-finish line. What an effort from Blake Giglio. Hayden hangs on to it and wins by 1/100th of a second. Fantastic finish. If you didn't like that, you don't like short track racing. Holy cow, that was great. Hayden Lowell, your winner over Blake Giglio. Hayden had to earn that one over Blake. Goodness gracious, that was great. Let's go in there and get Hayden. Well, Hayden, you had to earn that one. How did you pull it off?
Dude, just kind of knowing Blake, honestly, is what got me that win. As soon as I'm out of fuel,
Perfect.
as soon as I wanted to be in front and I wanted to control my own pace, and I saved a bunch of tire, and I saw him starting to close in, and I went for it, and I knew Blake was gonna give it one shot, and that was gonna be into 3, final lap. So I made sure not to run the bottom, and it kind of caught him off guard. He got me in my left rear, saved it, drag raced to the line, and just kind of made sure to slow his momentum, and 8 thousandths. That was close. That was awesome.
10-4. Congrats on the win. You got the Friends Family sponsor shout outs for us tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Napa Auto Parts, Arc Music, C2X, and Madigan Motorsports. We'd like to thank you, Swiss, for putting on the broadcast, and John Garrett and Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Cody Brown for putting on the Xfinity Series. And I'd like to thank all of our other sponsors and admins over at the Sidewinder Racing Leagues that put on our 9 different leagues on 6 different days of the week.
All right. Thank you so much, buddy. We appreciate you, and congrats on the win. You're punched into the next round for sure now.
Thank you very much.
Let's bring in Cliff Mullins. Cliff, DG, got a copy? Cliff.
me?
Yeah, you.
What'd I do?
Well, Blake Giglio ran away, and you're entertaining, so we brought you in for the second place interview.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take second place interview, even though I didn't finish second place.
Exactly. So you had a pretty good night. You still finished in the top 5, but we're going to pretend you're Blake Giglio for tonight. Take it away and tell me how your night was.
Should have wrecked 56 is what I should have done. That would have been a smart play, just to ship him into 3 and just send him all the way to the wall. Probably would have won the race if I would have done that.
Yeah, well, we came up 1/100th short for not wrecking him. How much do you regret your decision?
Probably pretty bad since he ain't doing this and I'm doing it. I would have no regrets because 56 would have been in the wall if it was me. So would have been a great win for the 16 out. I don't know what car you can drive, Artemis Esports or
yep.
whatever, but yeah, it would have been a good finish and would have gotten a dub, but decided to run clean and yeah, I mean, +1 to Hayden, I guess.
10-4. Well, congrats on the strong 2nd/5th place run tonight. You got your personal family, friends, and sponsors to shout out, and not Blake's.
Oh, personally, I guess, Allie for obviously supporting me with all this. Jaron, we got a top 5, so not too bad. Only had one incident really, wasn't too much to it, but I'm trying to see what the hell happened in that actually.
10-4. Congrats on that 5th place run, and I'll shout out Pinnacle Trailers, Sales, and AC Graphics for you since you forgot.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't finish in the top 3, so I didn't really. I'm not looking at the car. I'm looking at Dalton's cockpit right now. So.
You're looking at Dalton's what?
That sounded bad. Okay, never mind. Put me back down there or something. Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh. Trenton DG, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, what a finish to that race. You, I guess, had a halfway decent look at it, even though you're,
No, I didn't see it at all.
All right, well, it was exciting anyway. We'll tell you that. Go back and look at it when you get a chance.
I was talking to Hayden because I thought they were going to wreck a couple times. I heard Travis key up going, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, no, please no yellow, please no yellow. I'm like, and I tell Hayden, damn it, can you hurry up, get to the white flag? And I check my standings and I see it's less than a 10. I'm like, oh, shit, you're bound for the win. I'll shut up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Blake.
He was radio silent that whole time. And I'm like, oh, God, he is concentrating.
Yeah, Blake saved it for most of the run, and Hayden, did his normal thing, jumped on out there, and then Blake ran him down, and Blake gave him a few shots on the last couple laps, and Hayden held on to it. It was exciting.
Yeah, I was trying to stay with him, and then I think Martinson was ready to go because he gave me a little love tap, and I'm like, yep, I get you. I hear you loud and clear. All right, I'll try and go. And I politely got Blake to hit the gas, and they promptly gapped us. So
Promptly.
Then I was able to pull a gap as well, so all's well and well in that regard.
10-4. We got the Friends Family sponsor shoutouts for your P3 tonight.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Sneak Tombstone Game Farm, my family, mom, dad, my sister, Uncle Lee. Whitley, if you're awake,
go to bed. All right, bud, we appreciate you.
SEC Racing, Imperium, BCR, Sim Products, you for broadcasting, everyone at C2X, and yeah, I think that's all I got.
Nathan Lafayette.
I thought everyone at C2X.
I know. I just wanted to say Nathan Lafayette because it's fun when you hear you say that, and I just wanted to. And Viva the Underdogs.
Viva the Underdogs.
All right, bud. Well, get on out of here, and you're supposed to save your Whitley thing for the end because that's usually when I know the interview's over.
Oh.
Well, you're messing with me.
Oh, sorry. I'm tired, damn it. 130 laps here is kind of rough.
Not really. It's Richmond. It's only an hour.
Really, yeah.
Now, not having yellow, I can see your point. You only had 2.
Yeah, and it's my neck's breaking. It's 85 degrees in this room.
Hot damn.
Literally, it's hot. It's hot damn in here, man. I'm wore out.
All right, well, congrats on that P3 run. Get on out of here. We appreciate you, my friend, and we'll see you at the Super Speedways tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Trenton Sneed picking up 3rd place tonight. Let's go ahead and look at our final results from Richmond. So we round out the round of 12. Hayden Lolgich the win. Blake Giglio, Trenton Sneed, Zach Martinson, Cliff Mullins, Ethan Evers, Lucas Weisman, Jay Munch, Travis Martin, Ian Montrose pick up top 10s. We pull it on down to page 2. Jake Lawrence, Stan Llewellyn, Colin Teague, Quinn Newton, Dalton Hayes, Brandon Vasquez, Matt Benke, and Scott Elston. Well, if y'all be patient, I'm going to try to knock out these points if I can. If we can do that, if y'all don't mind. If y'all hang out for a minute, we'll go look at the points. See if we can get them done, get them in here, and see who moves on. Hopefully iRacing has put them through already. Let's see. Yeah, season 9. Do we have our event in here yet? Yes, we do. Beautiful. Load in the stage. Stage was 65. Drop in stage points. Import results. Let's see who won. Blake. Blake usually doesn't have the decal. So let's find the first car with one. Trenton has one. Blake did not win, but Hayden did, and Hayden does have the decal. So Hayden gets the 5 points for decal. Yep. Give him 5 points. Choose an option, add a bonus decal. 5 points. I don't know why I thought Blake won there. And let's look at the standings. I'll just bring him over here. Everybody can look at him. Hiya! Let's see, it was 10 points at the end between J Munch and Daniel. So J Munch will move on. Daniel will be eliminated, unfortunately, but good run for Daniel getting up into the playoffs. I think it's one of the first times for Xfinity for Daniel making the playoffs, so good season for him. J Munch sneaks in there by 10 points. Then Montrose, Colin Teague, Travis Martin, Zach Marchson, Trent Sneed, Blake Giglio, and Hayden Knoll all moving on to the round of 8. Congrats to all those drivers. Thank you so much for watching our broadcast tonight. Hope you had a wonderful night. Let's go ahead and look. Well, I can't get that out of the way now. It's stuck there because of the overlays, which actually we don't need anymore. So there we go. Now we can get it out of the way. And now we can do our sponsors and get on out of here. Thank you guys so much for being here, as always. I appreciate you. If you're still watching, make sure if you're over on the YouTubes to hit that subscribe button. Helps us out quite a lot. Appreciate it. Wild Horse Broadcasting does our Monday night ARCA series. Trenton and folks over there do a great job getting those cars all set up and ready to race for us. It's a good time. Rev Sim Shop does our Dirt Street Stocks every Tuesday night. Labor 12 does our Truck Series Tuesdays. See Randy Lee, the drummer in the background there. He comes out and races with us every once in a while. It's a good time. Arc Music does our Gen 4 Cup Series every Wednesday night. Fort Worth Screen Printing put on this show you watched tonight, the fantastic finish we had here at Richmond. Golden Eagle Syrup, they put on our Super Speedway Series every Friday, and then CTC Race Network does the IndyCar Series also on Friday nights. Come check it all out, dgsracing.com. We appreciate you so much for being here tonight. Have a great, wonderful rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow.